Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Veterans Resources Western New York, where we strive to change the condition in our area for our veterans. I'm Nate Boyd. I'm one of your hosts of Veterans Resources Western New York, and I'm sitting here along with my co-host, Commander Debbie Ranson, Captain William Gates, and Sergeant, my man, Sergeant Jerry Bowman. You guys excuse me, I'm pretty excited about today's show and about what's going on today. Yes, that's right. I said we have Commander Ranson here today, and we're just so proud of her because on Veterans Day, Commander Ranson received a shout out and an endorsement from President Obama. And then on Thanksgiving Day, YNN did a report on it, and they showed the whole thing. I got a chance to see it. I was very excited. So I just had to get. I just want to know, Commander, how you feel with Obama mentioning you like that.
Oh my God!
So proud of your efforts here.
Oh, thank you so much. I mean, I can't even tell you how proud I am to have the President of the United States of America, of all people, to make reference to me and the efforts that I've been making as far as dealing with our veterans in the community. But it hasn't been me alone. I've had a wonderful team of veterans that are part of our post that have done wonderful things.
And who are some of your team members, I might add? Let's just put them out too. Let's get
wow.
that out there, you know, so.
Well, two of them are here.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
We
That's
have William Yates, that is one of our officers at Post 24, the Janetta Arco, AMVETS Post 24, and also we have with us here also is Jerry Bowman, which is another one of our officers. We have one of our newest officers, which is Michael Chappelle, and he's been instrumental in bringing us into the 21st century. And we have several other officers and just members that have been truly supportive and getting out here and doing great outreach work.
Now, is that Commander Chappelle?
He's the third vice commander. Yes.
Third vice commander.
Yes, he is.
I know it's very important to get the prefixes correct. Is that
yes,
right?
it is. Yes,
it's
it
very
is.
important to know who we are and who we're dealing with. Now, Commander, so President Obama, he spoke about the ransom house too.
Yes,
So listen, I just don't want to jump around, but I mean, he spoke about the work you're doing with the forming the Janetta Arco, AMVET Post 24.
Yes.
And then he talked about the work you're doing with the ransom house, which is named after you, the ransom house.
Yes.
Could you tell the people a little bit about it, where it's located at? Tell us what you're doing.
Well, Ransom House was a idea that I came up with, being a veteran and being a female and a single parent. I was able to kind of understand that female veterans, along with veterans in general, have issues.
Mm-hmm.
Our female veterans have issues of which, when they've ETS'd home, which is in tour of service, they may not have a place to stay. Such as myself, I was able to go to my mom's house and stay over there, but you have to have a plan way before that.
Right.
You don't just go in and have no plan, so things need to start really before you get out of the military. At that time, when I went to the military and upon leaving, my son wasn't even 10 years old yet. So I was a mother of a young son, having been married and divorced twice, while serving in the military. And he was in the military with me.
Okay.
And so now, as I'm learning more and more about my sister and brother veterans that are in a crisis and need housing, they need transportation, they need childcare. When the president became president of the United States, I charged myself and said, what are you going to do, Deb? It's not about what is the president going to do.
Okay.
We have to charge ourselves. We all have an opportunity to be great, to do great things.
So when President Obama got elected, you said, okay, Debbie, what are you going to do?
Yes.
And then you decided to do what?
To deal with our veterans.
Okay.
Because I've always been a community activist, as an adult. I've always dealt with families and children, but I wanted to narrow that down. And when the president became president, our commander-in-chief, I decided, no, I need to focus on our veterans, male and female veterans. And that's how the Janetta R. Cole AMVETS Post got started.
And that's exactly where I'm trying to lead up to. My next question was exactly when did it get started? So that year?
Okay, Yes. Well, actually, what happened, it started in 2012.
Okay.
Our actual chartered date is March 1st, 2012. We're only 4 years old.
Okay.
And
Wow.
we've been hitting the ground running ever since.
Okay, so you were inspired by this president, and you said, "Now, what can I do?" And you decided to form the Janetta Arco AMVET Post 24. Is that how it happened?
Yes.
And then I just want the people to break down, because I want the people to understand what you went through, and to do this and to put this together. And we want to talk about the initial point when you made first contact with the president and he responded to you. So you create this Janetta Arco's post, and then how does the president know about this?
Okay. When the president won his first election, I wrote him. I wrote him because I was the first female, then actually soon after the first female commander of the Jesse Clipper Post in its 83-year history.
Oh, really?
I felt it was important, yes, it was important to write our president and let him know during February, Black History Month, and also President's Day, I did it on purpose because this was going to be historic.
Sure.
So I needed to write him and tell him the similarities that he has with the people that he governs. And so I wanted to let him know that Buffalo was proud when he came to Buffalo, and told him a little bit about my position as being the first female commander, of this American Legion post. Then I decided to move on. Things weren't that great with the post, but I always had that leadership ability, and I was going to continue to be commander.
Natural born.
Oh yes. So this way I was able to continue on, and really it was just a preparation to start the AMVET's post.
So what year was that specifically?
March 1st, 2012.
And then, so you wrote him, is that the month you wrote him the letter?
That was the month and year that we became incorporated. That was our charter date. When I wrote the president, I wrote him on President's Day. It was in February, yes.
And that was in 2012?
Yes, I believe. And what happened is, when I started talking about how proud we were, and when he was here in Buffalo, and I've called the White House, and they say, the White House, and I was like, ooh, nervous, because I never had the ability or desire to call the White House.
Okay.
But our president said, this house is your house.
That's what he said to you.
Yeah, he says
Commander
to
Ransom.
America.
To America, come on.
Yes,
Okay.
and so I took it to heart. And so when I called the White House, he said, you can call, you can text, you can do whatever it was. This house is your house. And I took it to heart. So I've called him, to let him know through his staff that, especially when times were hard, when people were kind of downing the president for his efforts and whatnot, I would call just to say, I want my president to know that I am proud, that I support him, and that I want him to know this. And that's all I called about. One time I called and said I would like a photo of the president and a photo of the first family. They directly sent me those photos and a handwritten note saying that whatever it is you want, let us know. We'll help you. And then I wrote the president 2 times, and he answered 2 times.
2 times?
Yes. So I have the letters that I wrote him, and I have copies of those letters, and I also have the copy of the letters in response. So that's
power.
Was wonderful.
That's just so powerful. So powerful. So Obama, now he spoke specifically about the Ransom House and your efforts to create this house. Now, I understand that the house is not completed yet, right? It's still it's a work in progress.
Right.
So because the house is a work in process, and because the president has singled you out for your efforts, now I'm wondering if out there in the community, there are people out there, sponsors out there, veterans out there, organizations out there that are willing to jump on board and help you complete this Ransom House in an even more timely manner than the progress you've already probably set forth and planned out. So I'm kind of I'm on the bandwagon too, blowing your horn, and I'm saying that if the president can endorse your efforts, then I'm sure that there are people out there in the community. I'm sure that the mayor, matter of fact, I understand that the mayor was there on Veterans Day, that Mayor Brown was there on Veterans Day when the president spoke.
Yeah.
So knowing this and knowing the connection, I'm assuming that the mayor you probably can reach out to the mayor and you guys can probably collaborate on something. Or maybe, Mayor, you can reach out. Can we get Deborah's communication up there, please, on the screen? We can get her contact information. Because the reason I'm saying this is because I'm hoping that people out there that are looking at this, people out there, veterans that are inspired, Debbie, Commander Ranson, can look at you and look at the work you did, look at the fact that you worked so hard. The president spoke out about you, actually endorsed the efforts that you're doing. And then maybe there's people, there's organizations, there's veterans that maybe will come on and join up and help out. So now your communication is there. Again, you know what I mean? I mean, it's a very big thing about this ranch and house. So, I mean, right now, can you think of anything that you could look at the public and tell the public that you need their help with in efforts to move forward with this plan?
Yes, but before I even do that part, one thing I didn't say is that I also got an award from the president for volunteerism. So it comes right into what you're saying. So that's why I wanted to back up a bit.
Okay.
We need to understand that being a volunteer is very important. And those are your efforts. Those are things that come from your heart. And like I said, for the president, even though I wrote him twice and he wrote me back twice, then I got this letter and award because I volunteered in my community. So as we're talking about volunteering, I'm looking for veterans, community members that want to volunteer. Because you never know when you volunteer what's going to happen. I've had trips out of the country paid for because I volunteered.
You hear that, Western New York?
So you never know where your blessing is going to come from because you have given from your heart. So I wanted to say that first before I say that we're looking for property, we're looking for loaned employees, we're looking for land, we're looking for anything that will help our veterans.
Now, what are you saying properties? You're saying so some of these maybe condemned properties we got around the city, you're saying that your organization maybe could, if the mayor and the city could collaborate with the organization, that maybe we could rehab some of those places for veterans, just what you talk about?
Yes.
Is that what
and
trying to say?
Similar to that, what we want to do, please be mindful that if there's something that you want to give, don't give it when it's almost down to the ground. Give us something that we can work with, something that has a solid foundation, because Ransom House is building a firm foundation. And as we have the leadership ability with the veterans that are on the board, that are working together to put this house up for our families, we've all had leadership abilities. We've all had strength and courage. And that's what we're trying to maintain. So, and we do that through our housing.
Sure.
So you want to be able to
Housing
come into a
initiative.
home.
Sure,
Yes, you want to be able to come into a home or start your own business or own your own home later on. But you have to have a firm foundation to do that. And we want to start off like that with our organization and for the people that we service, our female veterans.
Now,
children.
now Buffalo, Western New York. I want you to understand. Of course, now we do have we have a Sergeant Yates here. We have a Sergeant Bowman here, of course. But we've really been focusing now on Commander Ranson, and because I just think it is very important for Buffalo and Erie County to understand her efforts. And again, the acknowledgement of the president. Now, I would say to you that if the president can acknowledge this woman, this strong black woman, then I would say that the leaders in our community also need to recognize her, take notice of her, and then reach out and help. Because imagine what this effort could be like if we really had partners, capable resources of sponsorship to help out. Now, and as we go into our next show, next week's show, we are going to really get into some of the things that we think will help to expedite not only this process of the Ranson House, but to do other things for veterans in Buffalo and the surrounding areas, and to do some major things also for veterans of color. You know what I mean? And so you'll see that we got some very exciting stuff that's going to be coming up. But I just got to stay. I got to really stay focused on this connection with the president, if you don't mind. I got to stay focused on this connection because I think it's so strong. Now, so like I say, I know that Mayor Brown was there. So I know Mayor Brown knows your efforts, and I'm not trying to tell you what to do or anything, but I suspect that you should reach out to him and see how you guys can collaborate in the future, because I know that Mayor Brown loves Obama and the Obama administration. I know his fondness for Hillary Clinton and that administration, and so we all are collaborators on the effort to make this happen. So I'm assuming that they would help you. But I will ask Jerry, as I understand, who else was there from Western New York who was a very important person?
They had the Veterans Court.
Western New York was there, the Veterans Court?
Judge Russell.
Judge Russell was there.
Judge Russell, and the head of the mentors, I think his last name is O'Connor. From
Mr.
down
O'Connor.
there. And what they did, they were invited. The thing about it, and I cut it out, the article is very small. And if you don't read the newspaper, you probably would have missed it. But I'm thinking, for the veterans community, that should have been something that we all should have known about, and I'm pretty sure that we would have supported them in their effort and their journey to go down there and given a few things to tell the president while they were there, on behalf of the Janetta R. Cole Post and other organizations here in Buffalo.
Okay.
But it happened. And we're just learning about it, so it's good that we have the opportunity to talk about it again and let everybody know we were represented.
So, Commander, I'm wondering if possibly maybe we can reach out to Judge Russell and maybe get him to come on and talk about this. I mean, this is a big thing, this is a big thing. That's why it's a big thing for a young black woman from Buffalo to be singled out by the mayor for her efforts for the people, because the veterans is the people, by the people and for the people.
Yeah.
This is very powerful. So I just don't want to let it go. Now, Commander Ranson has communication numbers that you see up here. The one is her direct communication number, and the other is the for the Janetta R. Coles AMVETS Post 24, right?
Yes.
And that's the number. So again, could you tell the people your availability to the Janetta R. Cole when you're there, how they can, what they need to do to get with you? Could you tell them quickly about the Janetta R. Cole before I get back on you and Obama?
Yes. Well, we're not housing anyone at this point because we're trying to do the rehab.
Right.
So we're looking for volunteers
Okay.
that will assist us in getting these efforts together. The person who's leading the charge is actually William Yates.
Okay.
He's
Sergeant
leading
Yates.
the charge in there, yes. And and I'm very proud that we're going to be working closely as far as Janetta R. Cole, AMVETS Post, and Ransom House. So
okay,
we want to be able to,
collaborations.
we want to start our collaboration, and we're starting at home.
So if anybody wants to come out and volunteer to physically do labor, if organizations want to come out to volunteer to donate supplies and equipment, they can just contact you at your direct number, or they can contact you at the Janetta R. Cole's number. Now you guys are there, and that address is on Stanton. What is that address?
130 Kosciuszko is where we're at for our other site.
Oh, your other site,
But-
okay, because I don't think we got that down for the graphics, but where is it again now?
But what I wanted to do is say that because Commander Yates is actually the lead man on this, his information should be the one that, when you have somebody that's running something, you let them
Sure.
run it.
You're right,
And so
you're right.
because he's running it, they don't necessarily have to call me. They need to talk to the man in charge.
So we're going to make sure in next week's show then that we make sure his contact information
Yes.
is up there too.
Yeah.
It needs to be.
Graphics are very important on this, so that people can see, because sometimes you talk and you say stuff and people can hear it, but they don't got a pen or they don't reflect it. But when you keep showing it over and over and over again, they tend to catch it. Maybe sooner or later you guys will get up and go get your ink pen or something and write down this information. But again, today I think is a very powerful day. I think it's a very powerful day for Buffalo.
Yes, it is.
As a matter of fact, you know what I mean? I mean, it really says Buffalo's on the move, as the president said before. It says that Buffalo's talking proud,
Yes.
as many people say. You know what I mean? Now I know everything isn't peachy cream in the city, but but we moving forward. Your effort inspires me. Now I got to tell you, I was on Thanksgiving. I was up early, about 7 a.m. in the morning, 7:30, and I looked up. And I looked up and I see the news and I see the president talking, and then I hear Harry mention your name, and I was like, wait a minute, is that my Debbie? I had to take
Oh,
it.
yes.
I said, is that my Debbie?
Yes.
You know, and I had to take that. And then I watched the YNN news report on you, and I think that was very powerful. And I was just so proud. I guess that's why I keep harping on it. And I just want people in Buffalo to know, Commander Ranson, what you are doing and what you're going to keep doing for the people. Now,
yes.
are there any special events that are coming up that you need to let the people know about that are coming up
Yes.
in the next?
Yes, within the next month. I want Mr. Yates to be able to say that because
Okay, Sergeant Yates, you
yes.
want to let us know what's going on there?
What we have is a lot of programs, a lot of events to help people.
Okay,
And the first one we got up is Reach Across America, the 17th December at 1200.
Reach Across
America
America.
at 1200, which is 12 o'clock for civilian, 1200 for us veterans. Reach Across America at Pine Lawn Cemetery.
Okay,
This is something that Debbie has pushed, and I told her I hadn't seen Debbie in 40 years. Hadn't seen Jerry in 40-something years. So when she came to me, she said, you want to help me? I said, I got your back, and I'm here. But the things we do for the community, like the Reach Across America, that's our first event, December 17th, which is not the first event, it's the ones I'm going to talk about, because that's to represent all veterans.
All
That's
veterans.
not here.
Oh, okay,
anymore.
the deceased veterans.
Deceased veterans. That's not here no more. Our brothers and our sisters. Because the veteran community is the largest community in the world. Because when we say a veteran, we include their family. When we go out here, we help a vet, we help their family.
Okay.
We ask the community of Buffalo, New York to get on board. If you see a veteran in need,
Come on.
get him to a veteran group. They don't have to be
sure,
Jeanette Arco. Get
sure.
him to a group to get him help.
Sure.
So we can lead them in the right direction.
Sure.
And our events are things for community, for people. It's not about us. This is bigger than us because God's still in control.
Yes, he is.
Okay.
Say that. Yes.
Our next event we got a thing we're doing with DVDs for veterans and donations to the VA Medical Center and the Children's Hospital. We're collecting these for people that's in need. People need the little things that will make people happy. And our children in Children's Hospital, Roswell, and places like this, we need to help the community. Because when you raised your hand and swore the Constitution of the United States, who took it from you? They ETS you out. But you still have to serve your community, which is your country.
Sure. Sure.
And this is what we do. Our next program will be on December 14th from 10 to 12 at the VA Medical Center, 3495 Bailey Avenue. Is holiday care packages for the veterans, female and male.
What day is that?
On December 14th.
Yeah, see, I'm very sorry, you guys. I should have had these down in the graphics too.
But
These things is very important. But I need you to please to pull up the number, the contact number again. I'm gonna have you go over this information again, but I need the contact number to come up as we talking, so that for the Janetta R. Cole post. So as we're talking, there's the number. Now you need to tell them again what you're saying, and you guys, I know it's going in one ear and maybe out the other, but now you need to call this number and find out again what he's talking about. So come on, brother Will, again.
Like the holiday pack, you got veterans in there that are down on their luck, don't have nothing. There's a lot of us out here walking in the street like that. I have traveled
Sure.
up and down the East Coast. In every city I go to as a veteran of the United States of America, I represent our family. Not no post, I represent our family. Army, Air Force, Marine Corps, Navy, Coast Guard.
Sure.
I've called Debbie and Jerry both when I'm out of town. I work at the Norfolk Vet Center on a volunteer thing when I go
Volunteer
there.
thing, yes.
Because it's things they don't know that we do different here. Because we all in. It's all in. We're not going nowhere. We here. We home. So we got to make home comfortable. The last event we're going to have is events to be published in the Criterion and a Challenger. That's one thing. We got a program with a young veteran that came to us where he uses gardening. You know what I'm saying? He uses horticulture
Horticulture, yes.
for his therapy for PTSD. And it's a lot of veterans out there that want to do this. So we're asking the community of Western New York, we got a great community. If you have something, you can donate. Even a piece of land, a lot. Gardening equipment. Something to help us help our brothers.
You hear that, Buffalo? There's a contact information. This is
And,
important. You hear that?
We need to, even if they call that contact information, believe me, I'm going to get the message, because some people have certain hours. I'm on a 24-hour call for a veteran. 24 hours, and I don't care what part of the country you in. You call me, I'm coming. Because this is what we have to do as family.
We're going to make sure we get Sergeant Yates' direct phone number on the next show. But again, right now, we got the number up. And I mean, what he's talking about is very important. So you might have that quickly forgot the dates, but all you got to do is call this number. All you got to do is call the number that you see on the screen, and then all of this pertinent information you can get. Now, go ahead, Mr. Captain.
One thing we
Sergeant.
do we volunteer, Jerry, myself, Commander Ransom, we have Commander Chappelle, Commander Johnson. The commanders are taking control of what we have to do, because there's only leadership by example. So we get it done. Anybody that need any help, I'm at the VA hospital 40 hours a week on my time to help my brothers and my sisters. And everybody in this area that knows me, that's watching this show, know I'm there. When you see me, I'm there to do work to help y'all to get to what y'all need. Stop worrying and let's work together. Let's stop talking at each other and talk to each other so we can help each other.
That's it. Now, Commander, listen, we got about 4 minutes left in the show. Again, I feel that Obama shouting you out and endorsing you is a very powerful thing. I think that the city, whole Erie County, need to understand that. And I think that anybody out there that can help Commander Ransom and help this team as they move forward, trying to help vets, local vets, then you need to reach out to us. You need to reach out immediately. Now, Commander Ransom, I want you to go ahead and look in the camera. It's that one right there. And just talk to the people one more time, people of Buffalo, and tell the people of Buffalo what you want for them to do to help veterans.
I want the population of Buffalo to continue to support and help our veterans. And they can do that in a variety of ways. They can do that by volunteering. They can do that by donating products, funds, whatever it is you can do. Being able to do any of those things is a wonderful way to show your love for your country and your community. So please make sure that if there's something that you have to donate, please consider giving it to AMVETS Post 24, where we are partnering with the Ransom House.
Now, look, Commander, this is going straight up on YouTube. I got to say that. So, you got anything you want to say to President Obama? Say it to him, because he's going to see this.
Oh, I plan to write President Obama again as a thank you, because if it wasn't for President Barack Obama, there's a lot of things that wouldn't have happened in our country. And I can't say how much as a human being and as a veteran that I am proud of our president. And there's no more that I can say other than the pride that I have for my president.
What do you think? You think that President Obama, former President Obama, when it comes to it, would ever come back to Buffalo? And maybe you think we could talk him into coming to Buffalo and joining us on one of these great events?
Well,
could you ask him now?
In my letter to him, I want to be able to have this in print. Okay. So not just to be having it on YouTube, I want to be able to ask him personally in a letter, not just thanking him, but inviting him into Ransom House and to the AMVETS.
The official opening of Ransom House?
So yes,
AMVETS?
that would be the bomb. So I'm looking forward to informing the president and the First Family about that effort, and I'm hoping that he will accept it.
Okay, everybody, here we go, folks. We're down to the last minute of Veterans Resource, Western New York. Very powerful show, very powerful show. President Obama, thank you for reaching out to our commander here. We're so proud of her. And we do hope you keep communication, and hope we get to see you in Buffalo in the future. And until then, this is Nate Boyd and the rest of the hosts from Veterans Resources, Western New York, telling you to pay attention, pay attention, pay attention.